New tonight, a World War II submarine missing for 75 years has been found off the coast of Japan. 3 local sailors were on the USS Grayback. Frederick William Herman Meyer of Kansas City, Missouri, Vance E. Davis of Olathe, and Wilbur Edward Campbell from Topeka were on board. It disappeared back in 1942 with 77 other Americans. Searchers now say that the Grayback went down near Okinawa, Japan, after being hit by an aerial bomb.
For nearly 8 decades, one of America's most successful World War II submarines lay hidden beneath the ocean floor, its final resting place unknown. Generations of sailors, historians, and families wondered what happened during its last mission. The submarine had vanished without a trace during the final year of World War II, leaving behind a mystery that would endure for 79 years. Then, in a remarkable discovery, the wreck of USS Albacore was finally found off the coast of Japan, bringing long-awaited answers to one of the Pacific War's enduring mysteries. The story of USS Albacore begins long before its disappearance. Commissioned in 1942, the submarine quickly established itself as one of the most effective vessels in the United States Navy's submarine fleet. At a time when the Pacific Ocean had become a vast battlefield, American submarines played a critical role in disrupting Japanese shipping and weakening the enemy's ability to wage war. USS Albacore was designed for stealth, speed, and striking power. Armed with torpedoes and operated by a highly trained crew, the submarine was built to patrol enemy waters and attack Japanese warships and cargo vessels. Its missions were dangerous, often taking it deep into hostile territory where a single mistake could mean destruction. Yet despite these risks, USS Albacore earned a reputation for success. Throughout the war, the submarine completed numerous combat patrols and sank several enemy vessels. Its crew became known for their skill and courage, repeatedly carrying out missions under some of the most dangerous conditions imaginable. One of the submarine's most famous achievements occurred in June 1944 during the Battle of the Philippine Sea. During this critical period of the war, USS Albacore encountered one of Japan's most important naval assets, the aircraft carrier Taiho. Taiho was no ordinary ship. It was the pride of the Imperial Japanese Navy and one of the most advanced carriers Japan had ever built. Losing such a vessel would be a devastating blow. As USS Albacore maneuvered into position, the crew launched a spread of torpedoes. According to historical accounts, one torpedo appeared to be heading directly toward the carrier. In a desperate attempt to save the ship, a Japanese pilot reportedly crashed his aircraft into the torpedo, causing it to detonate prematurely. But another torpedo struck its target. The damage initially seemed manageable. However, poor damage control decisions aboard Taiho led to a buildup of fuel vapors within the ship. Hours later, a massive explosion ripped through the carrier, sinking it and killing hundreds of sailors. The sinking of Taiho became one of the most significant submarine victories of the war and cemented USS Albacore's reputation as one of America's most effective submarines. By late 1944, however, the war had entered a new phase. Japan's defenses had become increasingly sophisticated. Minefields, patrol aircraft, and anti-submarine vessels made every mission more dangerous than the last. In October 1944, USS Albacore departed for what would become its final patrol. The submarine's orders were to operate in waters northeast of Japan. These seas were heavily defended and filled with hazards. Yet missions in this area were considered essential because they targeted critical Japanese shipping routes. The crew understood the risks. Many had already survived multiple combat patrols. They knew that every voyage could be their last. Still, they carried out their duties with the professionalism expected of wartime submariners. For weeks, USS Albacore operated in enemy waters. Then, on November 7, 1944, something unusual happened. A Japanese patrol vessel reported observing a submarine in the area. According to wartime records, the patrol ship detected what appeared to be an underwater explosion shortly afterward. The report described seeing a large blast followed by debris rising to the surface. No further contact with the submarine was ever recorded. At the time, no one knew for certain what had happened. The United States Navy continued waiting for USS Albacore to report in. Days passed. Then weeks. Silence. Eventually, officials concluded that the submarine had been lost with all hands. 85 crew members had vanished. Families back home received heartbreaking news. Fathers, sons, brothers, and husbands who had gone to sea in service of their country would never return. The exact cause of the submarine's loss remained uncertain. Many experts believed USS Albacore had struck a naval mine. Japanese forces had laid extensive minefields around their home islands to defend against American submarines. If the vessel had accidentally entered one of these fields, a single explosion could have caused catastrophic damage. But without the wreck, no one could know for sure. Years turned into decades. World War II became history. The Pacific battlefield transformed into one of the world's busiest commercial regions. Yet somewhere beneath those waters, USS Albacore remained hidden. As technology advanced, interest in finding lost warships and submarines increased dramatically. Researchers began using sonar systems capable of mapping the seafloor in extraordinary detail. Underwater vehicles could explore depths that had once been inaccessible. Historians gained access to wartime records from both sides of the conflict. Gradually, investigators narrowed the search area. Still, locating a submarine lost in the vast Pacific Ocean was no simple task. The ocean floor is enormous. Strong currents move sediment across wreck sites. Earthquakes and underwater landslides can alter the landscape over time. Even with modern technology, finding a specific submarine can feel like searching for a needle in a haystack. Then, in 2023, a breakthrough finally arrived. Researchers working with advanced underwater mapping systems identified a wreck matching the dimensions and characteristics of USS Albacore. The discovery occurred near the location described in wartime Japanese records. As images of the wreck were analyzed, experts became increasingly confident they had found the long-lost submarine. The vessel rested on the seafloor at significant depth. Its hull showed damage consistent with a powerful explosion near the bow. The evidence strongly supported the theory that USS Albacore had struck a mine during its final patrol. After 79 years, the mystery was finally solved. The discovery was more than an archaeological achievement. For many families connected to the crew, it represented long-awaited closure. For generations, relatives had known only that their loved ones disappeared somewhere in the Pacific. Now they finally knew where the submarine rested and what likely happened during its final moments. The find also served as a powerful reminder of the dangers faced by submariners during World War II. Submarine warfare was among the most hazardous assignments in the military. Crews operated in cramped conditions for weeks at a time. They faced enemy ships, aircraft, depth charges, mechanical failures, and underwater mines. A single explosion could destroy an entire vessel within seconds. Unlike sailors on surface ships, submariners often had little chance of escape once disaster struck. The men aboard USS Albacore understood these risks. Yet they continued carrying out missions that played a crucial role in the Allied victory. Today, the submarine is recognized not only for its combat successes but also for the sacrifice of the 85 crew members who never returned home. The wreck remains protected as a military gravesite, ensuring that the final resting place of those sailors will be respected. Historians continue studying the discovery, comparing physical evidence with wartime records to better understand the submarine's final hours. Every new detail helps paint a clearer picture of what happened on that November day in 1944. The story of USS Albacore is ultimately one of courage, sacrifice, and perseverance. It is the story of a submarine that helped shape the outcome of a global conflict. A crew that ventured into some of the most dangerous waters on Earth. And a mystery that remained unsolved for nearly 8 decades. For 79 years, USS Albacore rested silently beneath the Pacific Ocean, hidden from the world. Storms passed overhead. Generations came and went. History moved on. Yet the submarine remained exactly where it had fallen during the final months of World War II. Then, thanks to modern technology and years of research, it was finally found. A lost chapter of history had returned from the depths. And with that discovery came answers that had been waiting nearly 80 years to be uncovered. The ocean had guarded its secret for a very long time. But eventually, even the deepest mysteries can be brought back to the surface.